Hey everybody, it is good to see you. It's good to be back with you today. I am here with our new friend, our new mate, our new musician, our new everything. Andy Peters, who is as new can get here at Trinity. He and his wife Christine have trucked themselves the whole way across the country from Colorado, from Denver.
Denver,
right?
Yep.
Denver, Colorado. Are you a Broncos fan?
No.
Good. So all the way from Colorado out here to Fort Wayne, Indiana to be with us. So Andy, and to be clear at the very beginning, you are Andy. You're not Andrew.
Unless you're mad at me. When my mother was mad, it was Andrew.
Okay. Wow. She hasn't sent us a note yet, so Andy, welcome.
Keep waiting.
So good to have you with us. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? How why you like playing organ, please note also Andy's sartorial sense, a nicely tied bow tie. We're really glad to see that. So, but a little bit about you. Tell us a little bit.
Well, sure. I'm originally from New Jersey.
Yes,
and,
East Coast.
Yep. And as far back as I can remember, my family was always going to church and sang in the children's choirs, and we were always involved. And I knew from an early age that I really liked the organ. And I thought it was neat with all the buttons and keys and
You're right about that.
lights and
You're right about that. It is kind of funky.
So it was a big machine. And so when I was in middle school, the church in our town in West Caldwell, New Jersey, got a new husband-wife duo as their music directors. And I said, I want to play organ. And she said, well, that's nice, but you need to play piano first. So,
and how old were you at that point?
I was in 5th grade.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So I started piano lessons in 5th grade with Noel Piercy. And then after about 2.5 or 3 years, Mrs. Piercy said, okay, you're ready. And
nice.
so,
that's pretty good. Good.
And then I would go, normal kids were doing clubs and activities after school, and I would be going up to walk to the church to practice.
Nice.
And I studied with Barbara Piercy until I got out of high school. And then she had said, well, if you want to do church music, you should go to St. Olaf. It's a great place to study church music, ELCA College. So I went there and...
In northern Minnesota.
That's right, good old Northfield, Minnesota. Nice, mild winters.
You know, one of the jokes, a friend of mine told me one time that, in Minnesota, even the atheists are Lutheran because it's the Lutheran God they don't believe in. So you're up in the heart of what it means to be Lutheran. Yes,
absolutely. Yes. And it was a great place. I learned so much and had great teachers there. And then from there, I went to get my master's in organ performance at the Cleveland Institute of Music. And I was music intern at Church of the Covenant, which was a beautiful building. And then from there, went on to the real world. I served a UCC church in Milford, Connecticut for about 3 years, and then went to an enormous 7,000-member Methodist church south of Nashville, Tennessee, as an organist associate for about 3 years, and then spent 14 years in St. Louis at a Presbyterian church there.
Very good.
Like St. Louis. Then the job at Augustana Lutheran came open in Denver, and I thought, well, that might be nice, and it was, other than the insane cost of living. But Denver is a much different place than anywhere we had lived, and then Trinity opened, and
nice.
Here I am.
And here you are. Nice. Well, what a great thing to have you here. One thing that you all may know, you may not have thought about, you may not know, but you are now the third St. Olaf organist who is in a row. I mean, Evan Anderson, Dan Schwant, and now you. I will say that there is, if you listen, and as I was listening to you play, that there is a continuation of that. There is a distinctive sort of way you play. That's a good thing. I think that's a good, honestly, for personally, there is a sense of, I could tell that you are from the same place, that there is a continuation somehow in the sound and the way you play.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And Dan and I knew Dan, and we studied with the same teacher, so
yeah,
he's quite a character.
Yeah, very much so. So that's really exciting. So here you are. I think you've gotten a house.
I think so. It has an inspection soon, and hopefully.
Yes. Yes. Inspection. Yeah.
Find out if the roof's nailed down. That kind of thing.
Yeah, the roof being nailed down. Yes. Very much so. What are you looking forward to now that you're here? I know that's not a trick question. That's kind of just like, what exciting things do you hope you just kind of like to try, or maybe things you haven't had a chance to do before but are looking forward to here with us?
Right. Well, I'm excited about working with Bob Hobby. He's a fixture in the church music world, and it was great hearing him play in service so far, and seeing him work with the choir, just to be at a place that has such a tradition of church music.
Sure.
But also, Fort Wayne itself has a much, I think, bigger arts and music sense than some areas. So
that is true. Yeah, even for a smaller city, there is a large arts community here.
Right.
And an opportunity to plug into that. Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to being part of that and just getting more settled. In Denver, we never quite were sure. I don't know. It just never felt like we were truly settled, and I think this will feel more like St. Louis. As Christine said, she'd spent probably the longest time ever there at 14 years. So
nice.
Midwest just.
Yeah, there you are. Yeah. I will caution you, there will be people who want you to be a Colts fan. You know who you are. Don't hassle him.
Stay away.
There may be people who want you to be a Cubs fan, so stay away from them. They're rabid. There are a whole bevy, and I hope you've met some of them, of music lovers, music participants here in this place that are very passionate about that and are glad that you're here and glad to be part of the things that we do here.
Right.
So we hope that you all take a few moments to come and meet Andy, meet Christine. What does Christine do? What is she hoping to do now that she's here? Or is that an open conversation still?
She can do everything almost. I mean, she was trained as a pastry chef. She
Really?
went to the Culinary Institute of America.
No kidding. Oh, that's amazing.
I think I got the job in Tennessee because the senior pastor wanted to hire her as his executive chef. I think that's the only reason I got that job.
Huh.
So she has.
Well, we didn't know that. Now that you tell us this, wow.
Yep. So she's very skilled in that area, and she's worked in the St. Louis Public Library for a while as a bookshelver and customer helper. She did a lot of time at Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital in the food service in St. Louis.
Wow.
And,
wow, we didn't know this.
Yep.
Wow, we made a good choice.
And in Denver, she did everything. She worked at the same church. Accounting, heating, air conditioning, phones, internet. If something was wrong, it was always her problem.
Wow. So what you're suggesting is that we might keep you because we might want to keep her. Really?
Right.
Excellent. Well, that's really exciting. So I look forward to spending some time with all of you, having you here. We're glad to have you on board. Some of the people here have heard me sometimes say, and I did not have, because we were kind of, I was back and forth to London when you were when we were first interviewing you.
Right.
So there really are only two interview questions that actually matter. And it is dogs or cats, Coke or Pepsi. So now that you have the job, I mean, but so what is your answer to that? Dogs or cats?
We have had both, though we tend to be more on the cat side.
That's unfortunate.
I sense that was the wrong answer.
and Coke or Pepsi?
That's a hard one. We grew up more Coke, but sometimes
Yes.
there's something.
Well, I mean, you're not a zealot, but
Right.
yeah, it's okay to not be a zealot about that one.
That's what we would have. I mean,
if they gave you the option.
Right.
If you're standing in the 7-Eleven and you're opening that door,
Right.
you pull out. Good, okay.
So, got 50. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, very good. Again, please take a moment on Sunday or whenever you're here to pop in, say hi to Andy. When you see Christine, say hi to her. Welcome them here into our community. And it's great to have you here, and we're looking forward to the great music you're going to do here together with us.
Thank you. So glad to be here.
Excellent. And we'll see you soon. Thanks.